How long you think it was gonna take before we got here? Now you gotta prove yourself all over again. Come on.
Ain't nobody coming out, been gunning from 100 yards, trying to hit my mark, missing every time. This'll be the start of the picture perfect. Watch you.
Hey, welcome everybody to Horse Racing Radar TV for our horse racing today. Saratoga. It is terrific. Terry, trifecta Thursday.
All right.
We had a pretty nice hump day yesterday, Hollywood hump day. Both of us had that late pick 4. Got it 2 times, I guess, or 1 time because we both got the 2 horses that dead heated. So that was fun.
Yeah, and you also had a really nice trifecta, paid $97. So
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, the sun shines, right? I say on the dog's rear end. So yesterday was my day for the sun to shine.
Yeah, well, that quarter horse race, my long shot won it, paid $37, and my 2 other horses got in there. So if you boxed my 3, you would have won over $200 in the trifecta, and I think the double paid something like 100 and something. So that was pretty nice.
Yeah, that was workable for sure. Speaking of work, yesterday Jamie and Sean had on Clerk of Scales, Danny Hamilton. You learned all about what happens there with the jockeys and everything else, and when they absorb water and from the races and so forth into the saddles, and how things can not necessarily weigh correctly, but certainly was an interesting show, I'm sure. Terry, did you invite him to Golden Gate Fields?
No, I'm not going to invite anybody anymore because, of course, they're closing. But I did like the show. I learned some stuff. I didn't know that it didn't matter if they gained weight. It only mattered if they lost weight.
Well, I mean, that makes sense, right? Because if you think about it, you only can get an advantage if you're lighter, not heavier, right?
Well, yeah, but if you're heavier, it could keep you from, winning as well. So
right, yeah. Well, I think they're going to gain a little bit of weight from the absorption of sweat and so forth as they run, for sure. Yeah. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody who decided to join the $10 donation to play Jockey Survivor. The list of everything is on there. If you haven't done so, I mean, it's too late to go in. But if you have gone in, go ahead and make sure that your name is on that list. First race at Saratoga is going to start in a few minutes. Make sure you've put your pick in. Again, thank you. All of the proceeds are going to go to Donna Brothers and her aftercare. You know her from, I think, NBC Sports, right? That's where Donna Brothers is. I know she's on one of those with a microphone afterwards. And usually NBC is the only one I think that shows horse racing, right?
Yeah. She's on there on a horse, talks to the jockey. So
it'd be nice if she could talk to the horses and they would talk back. We would learn a lot then. Dr. Doolittle Brothers. All right. One quick feel good thing again, I guess, or help somebody feel good. Our friend Julie Jacobs, who works with Sean and I time for time on Horse Center, alternates with Jamie. Her husband, Andre Ramgeet, got injured on the 15th of July. I finally figured out it was in September. There is a GoFundMe link in the description below. Got a long way to go, folks, to get to 20 grand. So they're part of the community. $5, $10. I know there's somebody out there that can write the check for 14. If you can, kindly do so. You'll help a great family. And of course, you'll help support the people in this business that we all participate in, at least from a work standpoint and from a entertainment and gambling standpoint, right, Terry?
That's correct. I challenged everybody that watches us to do a donation.
Well, here's my challenge today for everybody who's watching us today is to kindly pick one bet today. And if it wins, donate those proceeds to Andre and his family, Julie, on the GoFundMe. Again, a link down in the description below. All right, Terry, everybody's favorite summertime track, or at least one of them. It's either Saratoga or Del Mar from coast to coast. I imagine that much different environments, I would think. I've never been to Del Mar. You have. You've been to both. So tell me, what are the differences between Del Mar and Saratoga, real quick, in your view?
Okay, well, Del Mar, Saratoga, it seems like an older track, and the people there seem like they're more there for the enjoyment of the picnic and that kind of thing. Where Del Mar seems like it's more of a track that isn't as old, and they don't have as many people there with families. So that's the big difference.
So it's straight up gambling, be seen in Del Mar, whereas in Saratoga, it's a little bit more family picnicky and still be seen because everybody dresses really nice.
That's right.
Except for me and Terry and Tom. We are the 3 slobs. All right. Race number 1. Tell us the conditions this morning at the opener for Saratoga.
Well, it's a 7 furlongs, and it's for maidens, 136,500 purse. The purse is for the purse, and it's for maiden fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
Yeah, we have a lot of maidens today, first-time starters. So I think overall a challenging card, but hopefully, Terry, you and I are up for it. In race number 1, we do our simulations, 1,000 simulations using speed figures to get a sense of how many times in those thousands the horse gets the maximum speed number. In other words, won that race. Calculate out those odds, looking for value. So morning lines here. Sim odds, you want to be lower than the morning line odds. We also simulate 1,000 times using early pace numbers to get a sense of what the horse's chances are to be on the lead at the quarter-mile marker, since early speed is a big predictor of who will win. You'll see the one horse, 49%. And then C-zone, based upon our projected pace, which horses are likely to get a trip that are very comfortable compared to some of their winning efforts for those that have won already, or the closest the horse has come to winning in a maiden race. Terry, sure looks like the one on the inside stunningly is going to get off to a giddy up and go to start the day.
Yeah, it looks like that to me. The 7 may give it a little bit of competition as far as the overlay. The 1 has a small overlay, 7-2 versus 4-1 on morning line. Then the 7 has a really nice overlay. It's supposed to be under 2-1, and it's actually listed at 15-1 on the morning line. All of them have good C-zones, or at least some C-zone numbers, except for the 3.
Yeah, indeed. And then we also, there's a couple different ways to handicap. Another one is pace handicapping, what the race looks like on paper, where horses want to be when they win. You got a trio of first-time starters over here, the 2, 4, and 5. You do not know what they're going to bring to the table. The 8 horse so far has shown that it wants to be forwardly placed, so you'd probably want to see that one have the most early speed, and it really doesn't. The 1 and the 7 are considerably quicker, particularly the 1 stunningly. So notwithstanding the first-time starters, the 1 horse might be your early pace setter. Also has some of the most late speed in there as well, tied with the 7 horse. And then when you look at the early speed, late speed combination or top total pace, you do see that the 1 and the 7 stand out from everybody else. But again, those 3 first-time starters, you don't know what you're going to get from them, Terry, but we do know what you're going to get from Terry in terms of his picks.
Yeah, I like number 8, Portage. She finished second in her last race at Belmont and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then Sister Maha 4 is my second pick. Is a first-time starter whose dam has 2 winners from 2 starters, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And this combination in the last 14 days have been in the money. 6 out of 10 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. Number 1 is my third pick. She ran second versus Simmer in her last race. She has the highest last race speed rating, and she has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And the 3 is my long shot, Dark Princess. She finished third in her last race at Belmont Park, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And this combination in the last 14 days have been in the money. 14 out of 23 starts with 9 wins. I'm not going to make a bet in this race.
All right, I am going to start with the 4 horse, and it looks like I'm not alone because it is the favorite right now. Sister Maha, the July 4th work when everybody else was celebrating fireworks. Me on the side of a hill down in Clearwater was wonderful.
Saratoga horse race.
The 5 furlongs in 59-3 for that first good workout. Number 5, Revolving Credit, does have a pair of really nice 4 furlong Saratoga workouts on July 8th and July the 15th. Number 2, Feathering is my third choice in here. The works at Belmont on June the 25th and July the 22nd were straight up excellent. A couple of 4 furlong works in under 48 seconds. Gotta like that. And then finally, the 1 horse, Stunningly, our good friend Christopher Parmalu, his favorite betting angle. Horse was second in its prior start in the maiden, of course. Did increase its speed figure the last 2. Could he be the pace setter here, Terry, according to our simulations? But I don't think a cut back in distance is actually going to benefit that horse today. I'm going to go the $1 exacta box, 2, 4, and 5 in race number 1. They're pretty close to loading in. It's post time. A couple quick night items as well. Today, over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, our free track of the day is Charlestown tonight. So Thursday night, while you're sitting around trying to figure out what you want to do, I got an idea. click the link down in the description below. Head on over to Charlestown, and you'll see that in race number 1, Sing a Lullaby, the 8 horse at 9-5 is a best bet. One of 3 that we'll put together on the card, and each one there. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. All right, Terry, let's take a look at a comment here. Christopher D'Souza, he's going to go with the 1-7-8 trifecta box in race number 1. If, like Christopher, you have some thoughts, you have some questions, you have any ideas or anything that you want to share with us, even suggestions about how we can make the show better, we're always open-minded to that. Please let us know in the comment section here, or you can email me directly, gtsrichb@gmail.com, or you can direct message me or DM me on Twitter at HRTRich, at HRTRich. You both look very good. Good luck with your guesses. Oh, thank you. We appreciate that. Greetings from Istanbul.
All right.
We're looking handsome today, Terry.
That sounds great to me.
All right, post time right now. The 4 horse is your favorite, Sister Maha, at 8-5. Next up on the favoritism is the 1 horse, Stunningly, followed by the 2 and the 6. Oh, excuse me, the 8 horses in there. Portage, that one gets the 3rd call at 5-1. Then the 2 and the 6 click in. 2 and the 5 click in at 6-1 odds, and then the 3 and the 7 are both at plus 10 or more in terms of morning line odds. So you got 14-1 on the 3 and 13-1 on the 7. Looks like they're all just about loaded in, Terry. Just waiting on the 8 horse, kind of sleek, really shiny. So in terms of its coat, the 8 horse Portage looking ready to go. And race number 1, it looks like they're all in, and the gates have opened. Everybody got off to a pretty good start, except for maybe the 2 horse. Does look like the 5 horse is kind of backing out a little bit right now. As they come out early on, the 4 horse, the favorite, is your favorite. To the its outside is that 8 horse, Portage, as your second at 9-2. And then the 3 horse down on the rail, Dark Princess, trying to keep pace. To the outside of Dark Princess is that 2 horse, Feathering, who looks like it's moving pretty good right now, and the Green Silks. The 1 horse, the one that we thought might get to the lead, did not get to the lead. Kind of tough to tell how that's going to work out when you have a bunch of first-timers in there. The 5 horse of the first-timer not really firing so far. It looks like the 8 horse Portage is moving the best, although I think the 2 horse, when it's all said and done, going to run up right and by him, Terry. Could run by them all. Yeah, he's going to run by them all. The question is now who's going to finish second. It does look like that 1 horse is coming with some aggressiveness on the outside, but it's the 2 and the 8 right now. They're battling it out. Maybe the 2 goes by the 8. Maybe he doesn't, because the 8 seems to have found a second wind. The 1 horse is putting its head off to the side, but he might just run them all down at the end here, despite getting that first, not getting off to the good start. But it looks like to me it's going to go 8-1, definitely 8-1. Question is what comes in after that. 8-1, and then the 5 horse came in there. 8-1-5.
All right, my first pick won then. I should have done a double like I normally do.
Yeah, you should have done a double, Terry. And you won at 9-2. So
yeah.
Hopefully that's a harbinger of good things to come, Terry.
I hope so.
Race number 2 is what's coming next, Mr. Terry. In race number 2, we're going to get a bunch of first-time starters again. So the first half of the card could be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, it's 5.5 furlongs, maiden, $83,000 purse. It's for maidens, 2-year-olds.
Yes, indeed. 2-year-old maidens. Of course, everybody is just starting their careers, so not a whole lot of data to work with, Terry. So instead of that, we just go straight to our picks for race number. Oh, before we do that, at 5.5 furlongs, the profile of a winner does favor early speed. You better be fast, because 64% of the time, the horse that gets to the lead wins. That was last year, of course. Post position 1 is fair. 2 and 3, a little bit of discounted. 4 through 7, you catch a bonus. 8 and out, no winners last year. All right, Terry, what are your picks?
All right. Well, I like the 7 Antonia of Venice. Is finished in the money in both of his career starts, finished in 3rd in his last race, and they added blinkers today. Number 8, Group Ticket, finished 6th after a really awkward break and is ridden by Irad Ortiz. And he has a bullet workout on July 18th. The 3 is my 3rd pick. He ran 2nd versus Similar in his last race and has a trainer who wins 18% of the races when shipping a horse into race. And then the 1 is my long shot, first-time starter. His dam wins 3 winners from 3 starters, has a stakes winner. The breeding suits today's distance, and he has a good workout on July 13th. I'm going to bet a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8 with the 7, 8. I'm going to single the 3 in the 4th race, and I'm going to use the 1, 2, 3, 8, 9.
And then as far as the love goes, Terry, you're getting some from Leo Cepeda. Says nice pick on the 8 by Stocks. Loving that pick there too. Scary Creations coming in for race number 2. Says he likes the 6. Cat Tire Vizcaya. Really impressed with the work so far. I do have that in my selections too at the back end of my trifecta. I like the 1 horse, the first time starter. Does have some strong Saratoga works getting prepped for the debut today. Antonio Avenis, the 7 horse, did run the top last race speed figure by a decent margin for the few experienced horses in there. The 8 horse Group Ticket showed a lot of early speed in its debut. Then in race number 2 had an awkward start. And then Kent Sweezy turned around and put a 3 furlong bullet work in at 35-4. That's fast. That was at Monmouth. I think Kent wants to get him out of the gates in a hurry again today. Hope he didn't leave some of his ability on the practice track. And then finally, number 5, Honest Al. Consistent works at the Spa, getting ready for the debut. 50-cent try for me, 1, 7, 8, over the 1, 7, over the 1, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Again, Scary Creations liking the workouts on Katayr Vizcaya as his pick in race number 2. If you got anything for us, race 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, again, hit us up in the comment section. If you like what you see, Terry, what should people, what do you have to do? Not what are you supposed to do? What are you going to do?
You have to subscribe at YouTube and then hit the little bell so that you get notified about all of our great shows. And then give us a thumbs up and a like. Down at the bottom, you can share it and copy the link and put it on all your social sites and send them to your friends and relatives, everybody you know. And then you can go to our social sites such as Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter and Threads. At the horse race, the number 2 day, and give us a likes and thumbs up there. Really appreciate it if you do that.
Yes, Philip Perkins, thumbs up on Facebook. We appreciate that. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't tell us who's giving us thumbs up. They just let us know we get some. All right, Terry, race number 3, 5 furlongs on the turf. What are the conditions?
All right, in this 3rd race here, we've got 5.5 furlongs on the turf, as you said. It's an allowance race, $50,000. Its purse is $70,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $50,000 or less, and which have never won a race other than a mating or claiming race.
And the turf is firm today. So 5.5 furlongs on the turf. Stalkers usually have their way, although 19%. So about, a little bit probably better than fair. Go wire to wire. Post positions 1 through 7. They all play a little bit above par. If you have to wear the pink 8 or out, which I don't think it comes into play in this race, there is a big ding. So it looks like just some tactical speed might be the way in race number 3, Terry. Looking at the early pace, it does look like one of them, though, has a lot of pace, and everybody else will give chase.
Yeah, the 8 has the most pace in here. It should get to that quarter pole first. The 1 has almost double more simulated odds to morning lane odds. It goes like, it's that 5-2 versus 5-1, and the 7 has also double, just over even money, 5-2. All of them except for the 7 and the the 7 all of them, but the 7 has. They all have pretty good.
Yeah, the 1 and the 4 are a little bit light on the C-zone scores. Yeah, for sure. In race number 3, the pace sheet workout looks like most of the horses, except for the 4, War Terminator, want to be forwardly placed. The 6 and the 8 might be lead dependent, so you want one of those 2 to be on the lead if you're going to back either Destin's Mission, which looks like it's got a pretty good pace advantage over Sandrone. So I would imagine the 8 and the 6 get out. They duke it out for the front there a little bit, see which one's able to out jump the other when the gates open. As far as late speed is concerned, but if you do look at that pretty much from top to bottom, it's pretty close. Only Sugar Gray Leonard is off that pace. So Sugar Gray Leonard's going to have to come from off the pace to win the race. And he does have some of the best late speed in the contest today, tied with King James, certainly not the LeBron type. And then finally, King James is your top total pace horse, highly flammable coming in second, Sugar Gray Leonard third, and a little bit of a drop off to Destin's Mission from there. But nonetheless, at least amongst the top three, looks like a pretty competitive race from a pace standpoint. Maybe the winner comes from the 1, 5, or 7, Terry?
Yeah, maybe. I like the 8, though. Destin's Mission is my top pick. Ran second in his last race at Monmouth Park, has the highest last race speed rating, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Sugar Ray Leonard, the 7, is my second pick. He finished third on dirt in his last race and has a high percentage winning jockey. Sandrone, the 6, is my third pick. He has an early foot, so the shorter distance should help. And he has a good workout on July 15th. I like the 5 as my long shot, highly flammable. He has finished in the money in 3 of his last 4 races, winning 2 of the races at Belmont Park and finishing third in his last race. No bet in this race for me.
Sugar Gray Leonard, I think, is going to improve. At least that's what the CV says in round 2 off the bench. Last time out, made a huge mid move. I like those mid moves coming out of the turn as a way to get home first in the sprints, bring that momentum from the turn straight to the finish line. Destin's Mission, speed number, climbing in the last 2. When we look at the early pace, looks like it should be the front runner according to our simulation, as well as the pace numbers. And Kendrick Carmouche on top of a speed horse, that's a wonderful combination. He's admitted that's what he wants. Number 1, King James, a very volatile horse in this race, Terry. Probably has the highest ceiling and also probably the lowest floor in the race. Does have the top turf pedigree in this group by a pretty good margin. And finally, highly flammable. The 5 horse gets the 4th spot for me. Really consistent performer. Ran at this level last time out. Missed by just this much. So maybe today has a little extra juice. 50-cent try for me. 178 over to 7-8 over to 1, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Race number 4. I think we're going to have one more race here before we go off to the babies again, Terry. So let's make good on this one. What's it all about?
All right. It's a mile, and it's a claiming race with the $32,000 claiming price. The first 34th or 64,000. It's for fillies and mares 4 years old and upward.
Going back to race number 3 real quick. Christopher D'Souza says the 5 is going to win with the 651 exacta box. Good morning, Chris Wolf. How are you today? Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. And then Scary Creation says in race number 3, box the 5 and the 8 and move on. All right. So that sounds like a pretty good plan to me. So we are moving on. I wish I would have seen that before because it would have made a great segue for me. So we got to kind of go a little bit backwards on that one now. All right. So we talked through about the 1 mile, the profile of that 1 mile winner. Early speed does do well, though. Being on the front's not necessarily the best place to be because 16% of the time they go wire to wire. As far as post positions, again, you see 1 through 7 do pretty good. 8 and out, again, getting chopped. So you want to make sure that your horse is not out there. Again, I don't think that 8 and out is an issue today, Terry, again, because of scratches in race number 4, where there's only going to be 7 horses without a scratch. So early speed. Looks like there's a really quick one in here, Terry.
That's right. The 2, boy, there's nobody else, shouldn't be touched by anybody else. Les gets a bad break. And then that 1 has a real good overlay. It's supposed to be like, just a little over 6-1. And it's listed at 12-1 on the morning line. The 5 has a decent overlay, also 5-1 and similarly odds. And it's listed at 8-1. All of them have good C zones except for the 3.
Yeah, except for Pretty Extreme, who is the favorite, the morning line favorite, if I remember correctly. Our pace, our shape for the race, where horses want to be. Everybody, a lot of versatility in here, Terry. The 1, 2, 3, and 4, all of them are PCs, so they can pretty much run wherever they want on the course. The 6 horse is a pilot, co-pilot type, so Greatest Love, if it can be up around the front, doesn't have to be on the lead. 1st or 2nd will do, maybe even 3rd. And there you see, get that 2nd spot. So it's about where it wants to be with Greatest Love at a price. Although with this vowel, the PC type could be your front runner as we saw in the simulation. Late speed belongs to the 3 horse, Pretty Extreme, about a 4-point advantage over Halo City, maybe about a length. Just looking at the way this race shapes up, that one could be 3, 4, 5 lengths behind everybody. doesn't really have a 5-length late pace advantage. So it might have to scoot up a little bit closer to the leaders than normal today to come through as the favorite morning line. And then finally, the top pace figures go to the 2, the 6, and the 2, although it's a highly competitive race, except for maybe the 4, Good Penny, and Mariah's Fortune. So maybe the 2, 3, 5, 6 produces your winner. Terry, what do you think?
I like the 3 Pretty Extreme. She finished third versus similar in her last race at Oaklawn Park. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. She switches to a high percentage winning jockey. With this vow, the 2 is my second choice. Ran second versus similar on the turf in her last race. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance. She can improve while returning to dirt, and she has a good workout on July 12th. And then 4 Good Pennies, my third pick. She finished in the money in 40% of her career races, winning 28% of those starts. I like Mariah's Fortune, the 1, is my long shot. She's perfect at Saratoga, winning both her starts here. And she drops in class today, and she has a high percentage winning jockey and can improve at the shorter distance. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to single the 3. Then I'm going to go with the 1, 2, 3, 8, and 9. And then the 3, 6, 8, 10. And I'm going to finish up by singling my bet of the day, the 1. And then I'm going to bet 20 to win on the number 3.
So Scary Creations in this race says Mariah's Fortune 12-1 morning line. 2 for 2 at Saratoga. Good catch there, Scary Creations. Box it up with the 5 Halo City. Could mow them down at the end. I don't speak Spanish, so maybe somebody can help us. Saltra, Vizcaya, Wing. Oh, so he's saying the 2 horse. That's your winner right there. We had that one in there too, Uday. So we appreciate that, Mr. Casillo. I like the 1 horse, Scary. I'm going to go with you too. I think maybe you have a horse for the course there. Undefeated in the pair at Saratoga. Got good odds on it. Decent C-zone score. Could be part of the early pace. Overlay, why not? Looking at the 2 horse for me, that's next up on the board with this vow. Does have the best combination of early speed and C-zone. Again, early speed does show the way at the mile on the main track there at Saratoga. Number 3, Pretty Extreme. Consistent horse for sure. Plenty of back class. Does have a lot of decent works. Not great works, not bad works, but in between works, getting prepped for the first race in a bit. But I just can't see it being even money. I think David Aragona is one of the best morning line makers, if not the best morning line maker in the country. For Naira, I just don't know that this one's 1-1. And I think that 1-1 designation is probably going to bring money in. Could go down. Number 6, Greatest Love, top total pace horse in the race. Lone EP horse in the field that wants to be mostly middle back, although tons of versatility. I'm going to go with I'm going to try to beat the 3 horse with my pick 4. 1-2 over the 1, 8, 9 over the 3, 4, 6 over the entry, the 1 and the 3 in the last leg. So an $18 hot dog pick 4 in race number 4.
All right. And Christopher D'Souza in race 4 wants the bet of the day. Number 4 is going to bet $45 to win.
And that one is the Good Penny. He's going to go off the board right there. Good Penny with a nice C-zone score, $45. Good luck, Christopher. Hope you nail that one, my friend. Number 5, Terry, is the one we're going to try to nail next. We go back to the babies. Terry, back to 5.5 furlongs.
It is 5.5 furlongs, maiden 83,000 and a purse of 83,000. It's for maidens 2-year-olds. That's it.
Mm-hmm. And again, real quick, 5.5 furlongs on the dirt track, favors early speed, really favors early speed. 64% of the time they go wire to wire. The rail is fair, 2 and 3, a little bit of discount, 4 through 7, a bonus so far, or at least last year. No winners at 8 and out. Again, no data to work with here, Terry. So in race number 5, we just go straight to our thoughts.
That's right. I like Crazy Mason. Number 3 is my first pick. He ran second in his last race at Monmouth Park and has a high percentage winning trainer whose horses win 17% of the races when they put blinkers on for the first time. And then number 9, Rockstar Boy, is my second. Ran second versus similar in his last race and received the highest last race speed rating. Uncle Eddie is my third pick. Number 2, finished third versus similar at his last race at Delaware Park, and he has a bullet workout on July 13th. And then number 8, 3 White Soldiers. He is a first-time starter whose dam has 1 winner from 2 starters and a good workout on July 15th. He's my long shot. No bet for me in this race.
I'm going to start off with the 8 horse in here, Terry. 3 White Soldiers. I really like the workouts. I'm glad that there was a scratch and he got to move inside a little bit. And I think the workouts could quite possibly be the best of the bunch. Number 1, Crown That Saint. Good, consistent work pattern as well in here. That last workout that it put on paper, it might actually be the best workout that anybody has put on paper before they get to the track. Rockstar Boy, well bet in its debut. Again, our good friend Christopher Parmalou's Angle finished second last out, so it only needs to be 1 horse today to get into the graduation ranks. And Crazy Mason, same story. Well bet at Monmouth, in its debut. Couple of good workouts in between races. Let's see if that one maybe can come home. Terry's top pick. I'm going 50-cent try 189 over the 8-9. Over the 1, 3, 6, and 8, and 9. Kind of curious what everybody else's thoughts are on that maiden race.
Well, Scary Creations likes the number 8 like you do, 3 White Soldiers, the 6 Major Jack, and the 1 Crown the Saint. He wants to box them in a try and the exacta.
All right, good luck. I hope that you hit the exacta and I hit the try. Well, we both can hit the try, right? 8186. I think we both can hit it. Yeah. So if it goes 1, 8, 6, yes, indeed, we'll both hit it. So let's go for that, Scary. Teamwork makes the dream work, or dream work makes the teamwork, or something along those lines. I forget how all that works out, Terry. Yep. I used to work in one of those places that had like all those motivational posters on the wall, and I kind of forgot what they said. Another one of these baby races, Terry, except this time it goes from dirt to turf.
That's right. We've got a 5.5 furlong. It's a turf race. It's a maiden $136,500 purse. It's for maidens, fillies, 2-year-olds.
And at 5.5 furlongs on the turf, it goes from favoring really fast horses to stalkers. Although still 19 out of 100 horses will get to the lead and stay there at 5.5 furlongs on the grass. 1 through 7, those post positions play well. And once again, we find that if you wear that pink 8 or something higher, you're going to have to really overcome a track bias to get the score here, Terry. Once again, no data to work with, no simulations, no nothing, just some insights from Terry and Rich and all the comment section.
Yeah, I like the 3 Kodiak Wintergreen. She's a first-time starter who has a trainer whose horses win 25% of the races in a horse's second career race and has a good – that doesn't make sense. But anyway.
That didn't make any sense to me either.
No,
but that's all right, Terry. We're not here to make sense. We're here to pick winners.
Has a good 4 furlong workout. And then number 6, Dancing Nancy is my second one. Another first-time starter. Has a high percentage winning trainer. Her breeding suggests she will like the grass, and her breeding suits today's distance. 10 Ever So Sweets, third pick, another first-time starter, as they all are in here. Has a high percentage winning jockey, and her breeding suggests she'll like grass. I like the 8 as my long shot. Another first-time starter, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and her breeding suggests she'll like the grass. No bet for me in this race.
Going back to 5, Christopher D'Souza says the 1 horse on the win, the place, and the show. In race number 6, I agree with you, Scary Creations. This is a tough race. Lots of ways to go, so maybe just an all button. You're going to go with the 9, Gem of a Performance, with all the time winningest jockey in Saratoga history, Johnny V. Not a bad angle there, right? If someone knows how to get the W at the track, back that man or woman. I'm going to start with the 3 horse 2. This one does have experience in there. I expect it will be better in race number 2, especially since the workouts are really nice between the debut and career start, El Número 2. Number 4, La Morna. Probably screwed that all up. I think of all the first-time starters, this one might actually have the best workouts in there. Decent odds at 8-1 morning line. Number 6, Dancing Nancy, Chad Brown horse. You can never shy away from a Chad Brown horse in New York. I got a joke about people and stairs, but I'll let that go. Some good workouts in there as well for Dancing Nancy. And then I agree with you, Scary. Let's go with the Johnny V horse here. Gem of Performance does have that bullet and go angle. So the last workout before the debut is a bullet. According to Barry Meadows, bullet workouts, go to the track and race. That horse will win at least 15% of the time. I think the 3 horse with its experience and the good workouts probably wins this race, Terry. So I'm going to go a 50-cent try 3 over the 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10 over the 4, 6, and 9. And surprisingly, all those numbers only add up to $6, Terry. I was
All
kind of
right.
surprised.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Race number 6. Christopher D'Souza is going to go with the 10 horse to win in place. Ever So Sweet. And then Jose Manuel, coming to us from Camaracao, says Bajuma, the 6 horse. Is that race number 10? Is that what he's talking about? Let's see, race 10.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about either because I don't see Bajuma anywhere. Can you help us out with that, Jose? Which horse you're talking about? Oh, I think he says in 6th race he's going with number 10. Okay, I get it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going with Ever So Sweet, just like Christopher D'Souza. Perfect. So you have some like-minded folks from all across the world there, and you're coming to us from Brazil, huh? That's the Brazilian flag right there. Is that right? Jose, let us know if indeed I got my flags correct. If not, I'll learn. Race number 7, Terry. Let's see if we can learn who the winner is. But before we learn that, let's learn about the race and the conditions.
It's a mile. It's on the inner turf. It's $45,000. Sorry, optional claiming, and then the purse is $100,000. Inner turf for 3-year-olds and upward fold in New York State and approved by the New York State Bred Registry, which has never won $18,000 twice, other than maiden claiming or starter, or which have never won 3 races or optional claiming race price of $45,000.
Yes, once again, we have abacus conditions right there for sure.
Yep.
But what we do know is a mile on the inner turf does favor, at least did last year, stalkers and closers. A healthy 21% of the time, horses lead from gate to wire. Get a little bit of a rail bonus. That's not Spirit of St. Louis. That's going to be Citizen K that's on the rail right there. 2 through 7 play fair. Once again, we find if you're on the outside at Saratoga, 8 and out, you're going to have to overcome a little bit of a track bias. So it looks like you want to be on the inside for race number 7, Terry, and have a little bit of tactical speed. And it looks like for the most part, the horses on the inside have tactical speed.
Yeah, they do. Although the ones that show the most speed are the 1 and the 1A. And then none of them have any really overlays that I can see there. And the C zones are the 2, 7, 1, and 1A.
2, 7, 1, and 1A. This is an interesting race to me because you got the 1 and the 1A in there. And because there's 2 horses in there, they're going to draw, I think, a lot of the money as well. Again, heavy morning line favorites. The EP horse being the 1 horse, 1A. Everybody else, middle or back. So a mile on the inner turf. So maybe if that 1A can steal away with a pretty good advantage early on, but might not get away with it because really not a big difference between Agent Creed and Call Me Harry from top to bottom. So you could find that it's a pretty competitive race up front, although on this structure over here on the left, it doesn't look like. It looks like the 1A should get to the front. As far as late speed is concerned, the 1. So you're going to have the 1A on the front and the 1A on the back. The 1A is going to try to probably burn the speed with the hope for the 1 horse to come close the show. Has a pretty good 5-point advantage over graded on a curve, which was how Charles was graded in school. Terry and I, we were curve breakers. Yeah. And then finally, the top pace horse is the 7. Ghost Giant does score out just a little bit better than Spirit of St. Louis, Con Man. But again, a very competitive race from top to bottom. Only 8 points separating the bottom horse from the top horse. And in that kind of race, Terry, I have a hard time seeing a horse like the 1 and 1A morning line at 1-1. I just, in a very competitive, I don't think it's worth 1-1 odds. What do you think?
Well, I'm going to take the 1 as my pick of the day, Spirit of St. Louis. He won his last race at Belmont Park, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. In this combination, the last 14 days, out of 7 races, won 2 and had 2 seconds. Then I like the 3, Con Man. He won his last race at Belmont Park, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. That's the 4, I'm sorry. And the 3, Agent Creed is my 3rd pick, finishing the money. His last 3 races, winning one of those starts, and has a high percentage winning jockey in the last 7 days, has won 7 out of 28 starts with 8 seconds. 8, graded on the curve, is my long shot, finished 3rd on an all-weather track. In his last race, has a trainer, wins 28% of the races when he in a horse's 3rd race off of a layoff. And today is my day of singles. I'm going to do a pick 4, and I'm going to single the 1, 1A. And then I'm going to go with the 1, 2, 8, with the 1, 5, 7, 10, with the 7, 8, and $20 to win on the 1.
So Scary Creations likes the 8 horse in here. He says, taking a chance with the 8, graded on a curve, way better on turf than synthetic. which he's been running lately on. And then as far as the last race, only $4, right? If I had $4 more to spend because we have $100 budget and I wanted to kind of do some more stuff on the back end of the card too, I wouldn't do that. So yeah, it usually does cost me, Scary. I agree wholeheartedly with you, but I spent all of my money today. Race number 7. I didn't.
No.
How much do I have left?
You have $6 left.
All right. You know what? Scary Creations. There you go. I'm going to go back to that race then, and I'm going to do exactly what you said. Since Terry says I have it, I'm going to go 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10 in the back and just hope that the 3-horse wins. I thought I spent all my money. I don't know what it is with me and my money, Terry. Probably because I'm trying to get that all together, get all the videos and everything up as we get running.
Well, yeah, you're always really busy. So
race number 7, Christopher D'Souza says the 1-horse is going to score here. The favorite, the 1-to-1 with the 1, 2, and 7 for the exacta box. I think the 3-horse is going to win the race. Damn it. I'm off by myself here. Agent Creed. Last time out did show some better early pace. I like that. We've seen that come back as a winning combination before. Up that speed figure 3 times in a row. That's another one of those Barry Meta alpha angles. It wins at more than 15%. You got the 3rd race after a layoff. So you got 3, 3, 3. 3's running wild here. And the resume says that the 3rd race in the 3-race cycle should be the best of the bunch. So that's the one I think has a shot to take out the favorite, the 1-to-1 favorite. So I'm going to do the entry next. I know it's going to take in a lot of money. As we mentioned in the pace setup, the 1A is going to close. I mean, the 1's going to close. The 1A is going to get to the front. So if speed wins, you got the 1A. If closer wins, you got the 1 Spirit of St. Louis. Number 4, Con Man. Really good form right now. Did up its speed figure in the last 2. And internally, all the pace numbers improved from the beginning to the middle to the end in the last race. And that mid-move, if you take a look at it, was really robust. Finally, number 2, Citizen K was a really tough call for me over the 8-horse. But I went with the 2-horse because of the better post position, as well as being a little bit more consistent performer. I'm going to do a pick 4, 3, 1 or 1, 3 over the 1, 2, 4, 8 for the 1, 5, 7 over the 6, 7, and 8 for me in lucky race number 7.
Christopher D'Souza in that race likes the 1 with the 1, 2, 7 exacta box. And then he's got a big, let's see, he's got a long story short. He willed a 50-to-1 shot in exacta. It was at Belmont. I left 1 horse off because I didn't think he had a chance. Well, my 50-to-1 shot won. The horse I left off came in second. Exacta was over 2,000. You know, that happens to all of us, Gary. As he's saying here, I was sick to my stomach, penny pinching like that. And of course, I've told the story before where I did that with out of Australia. I dropped it off of a pick 5 and cost myself thousands of dollars. So
yeah, so they won the belt. Went at the Breeders' Cup at like what 80-to-1 or something like that.
Yeah,
it was a big long shot for sure. Yeah, my bad story is not so much that I didn't put the horse in, is that back in the old days before the computers at lunchtime, we used to sneak off to the OTB, and I knew the math, and I wrote it down on my piece of paper, and I brought it with me, and I asked the kid sitting next to me, Mike, hey, I'm going to go do this pick 4. Do you want in? He said, yeah. How much is it? I said, $60. He said, I'll take 10%. So he gave me $6. I went over to the track and it cost 54, and I couldn't figure out why it was off by a few bucks, or maybe it cost something less than 54. And then, but you know, back in the old days at the OTB, there's a minute to post at some podunk track, and all the people with like $1.80 in their pocket that are doing 10-cent superfectors are all in line 20 deep yelling at you because you're trying to get your bet in. So you got that kind of peer heat on you. So I tried to get it in. I got it in. I was looking at it. I couldn't figure out why the cost was wrong. And I knew the math was right. But I went back to my desk, opened up my computer to see the first race. It was at Gulfstream Park. The 11-horse won at 99-to-1. Sure, he's on my notes, the 11-horse. Well, guess which one didn't get put on the card?
The 11.
The 11. That 50-cent that 50-cent pick 4 paid $60,000. You want to talk about throw up in your mouth, Scary?
Yep.
I think it made it out into the garbage can. All right. Anyway, let's see. How long do we have to race number 2, Terry? It's post time. So
yeah, they must be entering the gate by now, right?
Yeah, they are. So let's go ahead and rewind back to race number 2. See what we got here. Right now, the 1-horse, Waltz Tib, is your favorite with Flavian Pratt, the jockey. 2-horse, Lindsey Button out. The 3-horse, Astronomico, is 7-1. The 4-horse on the sidelines, Mucho de la Mancha, whatever. That one is out as well. Honest Al, the 5-horse, coming in at 10-1. The 6-horse is Tire Vizcaya. A couple people liking that one. That's 6-1. Not bad. Number 7, Antonio of Venice. That one's also a co-favorite at 2-1. And then the 8-horse group ticket on the outside. That one is 5-1. Pretty close to the morning line odds. It looks like the last one is in. Oh, no. Here, only got 2 to go, the 7 and the 8. So the 7-horse striding in like a veteran. I like to see that. 8-horse looks pretty big to me, Terry. Yeah, but he doesn't look like he's all that interested in racing just yet. He said, all right, 2 times is to try. They're all in for the second race at Saratoga today. The first of 3 races with a bunch of babies. Well, the first one had a bunch of babies in there too that, I don't know, the one horse just flipped out, completely flipped out. He's going to scratch, so they're going to back them all out. No question about that, Terry. And we will have time to go back and I guess I should change my bet, huh?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they going to put there's no way they're going to put the one back in there. Yeah, because, I mean, this is Saratoga. Yeah, they're backing everybody else. Do you want to change your pick 4?
No, I'm just going to leave it because then I'll get the favorite twice if it wins. So.
I don't think you get the favorite twice if it scratches on the first leg.
Oh, that's right. You just get the money back, but that's correct. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. So anyway, we're going to have time to do race number 8 as they load. So Terry, race number 8.
Why wouldn't you get the favorite? You could have bet this race and then went away. So,
you won't get the favorite. You never get the favorite on the first leg.
All right.
You only get you get your money back, like you said. So you'll pick 4 minus that one bet. All right, Terry, go ahead in race number 8. Tell us about the conditions here.
7 furlongs, allowance race, $20,000 allowance price, $50,000 purse for fillies and mares 4 years old and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $20,000 or less in 2022 or 2023.
And then as far as 7 furlongs, like we saw in the opening race, 7 furlongs does tend to favor early speed. 32% of the time they go wire to wire. Post positions are fair except for 2 and 3, Terry. So you want a little bit of early speed, Terry, in race number 8. And it looks like pretty much everybody has some chance except She Caught My Eye to get the lead.
That's right. 7 and 4 actually has some speed here. And the 8 has a small overlay, which is like 5-2, and it's 3-5. And then as far as the C zones, we've got the 4, 1, 6, and 7 have the best C zone.
All right, so they're still kind of circling around. The 3 horses a little bit animated now too, back there behind the gates in the second race at Saratoga. In race number 8, our race shape, we see the 7 horse with the potential to be a lone E, Ruevs in Time. So you want to see that one be on the front, and it looks like according to early speed, it will be up on the front. It's going to need some late legs, some improvement off of its career so far at the end. So late speed belongs to Mosienko, 5 points better than everybody else. Total pace, 1-3-2, have a good advantage over everybody else. So maybe those inside 3 horses get the score, Terry. All right, race number 2. They're about to get kicking off on that again as they're reloading everybody. Here we go. So obviously I don't have the one in my trifecta anymore. So my trifecta now is just basically 8-7 over the 1-5. Yeah. So it really got cut in price right there. Let's see how that plays out. So you have the 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So basically you have all here.
I do all. Yeah.
So you're hoping for the longest price to come home, the winner here. And as they open up, the 6 horse, Cartieri Vicaya, is the one on the lead. The 3 horse on the inside there, Astronomico, has just put its nose in front of that. The 7 horse right now is in third. That one's coming up on the outside. It looks like it's moving the best to me of the bunch. So I think the 7 horse, just based upon what I see at 4-5, is likely to be your winner. Although the horses in the back are starting to make a pretty aggressive move. Like what I see out of the 8 horse, I don't know that it's going to have enough to catch the 7 horse. The 7 horse is going to be, I'd say, your winner. Maybe the 5 horse can run it down, although the 8 horse is looking all right too. But it's probably going to finish last, the 8 horse. And then, 7 is your winner, going to be your winner at 4-5. Question is, does the 5 overtake the 6 horse for second? No, it will not. So in race number 2, the 7 horse is your winner over the 6, 5, 3, and 8. 7, 6, 5, 3, and 8. Unfortunately for me, with the 7 winning, it knocked out my trifecta, but my trifecta works out to be like $2 now, so not that big a deal. And you are alive from the pick 4, Terry.
Yeah, with the shortest price. Of course, that was my first pick.
Yeah, that tends to be how it goes whenever there's a I don't know. The all bets seem to do that to me all the time too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Let's see. In race number, the 1 is going to scratch for sure. He did. Taking a chance with number 3 as we go back to race number 8 and our thoughts there, Terry. So take us away with your thoughts on your picks in race number 8.
Okay, I like She Caught My Eye, the 8 horse. She has won 3 out of the last 6 races, has a high percentage winning trainer. This trainer wins 33% of the races after dropping a horse off of a win, and the high percentage winning jockey. And then I like the 1 as my second pick, drops in class today, has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. The 2 is my third pick, Know It All Audrey. She finished in the money in 9 out of her last 10 races, winning 4 and finishing third versus Stuffer in her last race. She drops in class today. I like Knowing Glance from the number 3 is my long shot. She's finished in the money in her last 5 starts, winning the last race, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. No bet for me here.
We agree on the first 3. I got the 8 horse. She Caught My Eye. Top last race speed figure in a win. You're going to drop off the win. The only time the horse ran 7 furlongs, it was at Saratoga. It was the maiden claiming victory, but man, it was a blowout. So maybe it's a 7 furlonger. Number 1, Moisenko. Good drop in class as well, making Charles his favorite handicapping. Start the 3rd start after a layoff. And this one usually makes a pretty good push at the end of the race. Really strong C-zone scoring there, too. Know It All Audrey. Yeah, I knew an Audrey, and she indeed knew it all. This is yet another class dropper with some inside speed, decent maintenance workouts between races. And then finally 4, Sue Ellen Michigan. Tends to run really well off the bench, just like today. Has some early speed. Like to see that. Certainly like to see that early speed teamed up with Kendrick Carmouche. Really fast workouts. I'm afraid that the 4 might screw me up, but I'm going to go a trifecta. 1-8 over the 1-2-8 over the 1-2-4-8. And 2 races to go on day number 2 for this week at Saratoga. Race number 9, Terry, fill us in on the particulars.
All right. In this race here, it's 1 1/16 mile on the turf. It's optional claiming, $62,500 claiming price. Has a purse of $156,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won $18,000 twice, other than maiden claiming starter or state bred allowance, or which have never won 3 races or optional claiming race of $62,500.
Scary Creations going back a race to 8, likes the 3-1-6 exacta box, with the 3 horse being the one that takes the checkered flag. In race number 9, as far as the profile of a winner at 1 mile and 16th on turf, closers, Terry. Only 9% of the time does a horse get to the lead and stay there. There is absolutely an inside-out bias, with post 1, 2, and 3 outperforming all of the rest. Race number 9, Terry, maybe inside tactical speed, and looks like the whole race is filled with somebody. I mean, every one of them has some chance to get to the lead.
They certainly do. There's lots of speed in here, so most of them have it. Who knows what's going to get out there?
Either that or they're all similarly slow.
Yeah, that could be. Oh, that could be right too. Number 8 has a pretty large overlay. It's supposed to be 3-1 in the morning line, and it's listed at 20-1 in the simulated odds 3-1, listed 20-1 on the morning line. The 6, 7, 10, and 4 have the best C-zone numbers, although all of them have, except for the 3 and the 5, have some C-zone numbers. So.
Yeah, and C-zone, again, if you're new, just how likely the pace is to sit well with the horse, mirror some of their better efforts. I did look at that 8-horse tough tickets coming in from Parks, really strong turf pedigree. Not a big fan of track risers, especially from Parks to the Naira circuit. Seeing too many horses that look phenomenal on paper, just not run that well. You got a triangle shaped pace here, Terry. The 1 and the 4, they get out to the front. little bit of pressure from the 2 and the 5, but by far 2/3 of the race wants to be middle back. Again, we talked a little bit about how everybody has some similar early speed in there. If you look at it from top to bottom, only an 11-point difference. So I don't know that anybody in here is really what I would call a burner out of the gates. Just think they're all going to kind of come out in a blob and run pretty pedestrian fractions early on. Should have set it up for the late speed horse Chasing the Crown. That one has a 6-point advantage over everybody else. Only Napoleonic War, way down the list there. Total pace numbers, that goes to the 10 and the 8. Again, look at that 8 horse in there. Chasing Crown might be a little too off the pace, I felt like, to get into the mix for the W, especially in a deep field that's kind of compact in terms of early speed. There's going to be a lot of traffic in that race. But it is a competitive race. Looks like a whole bunch of them can win. Terry, who do you think will?
Well, I like the 7 exact estimate. He won his last race at Belmont Park and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and has a good 4 furlong workout July 15th. And then 10, Chasing the Crown. He finished in the money in 6 of 7 career starts. So very competitive horse, winning 2 of those and finishing 3rd in the last race. Airy Gold, then 1 is my 3rd choice. He won his 2 races in a row and is going for a hat trick. The Rail Post is winning at a 19% clip and has a high percentage winning trainer. I like the 5 as my long shot, finishing the money in 5 career starts, winning 2 of those starts, and has a high percentage winning jockey. I think this is a pretty wide open race. I'm going to play a $1 daily doubles. I'm going to use the 1, 5, 7, and 10 with the 7, 8.
Christopher D'Souza coming in with the 4 horse in here, Pine Knoll as his winner. And then the 4-1 exacta box, looking for a nice fat exacta there on a small payout. My kind of betting, small payout, small pay in, maximum payout. It's the way I like to do it too, Christopher. I'm going to go with the 1 horse in here, Airy Gold, as my top selection. One of the reasons why is it ran the top last race speed figure last time out by a decent margin. And anytime you see a horse with a 4, 5, 6, 7-point speed race advantage, as long as it's not like way out of line with anything that the horse has done before, because then you likely see some regression. It seems like every time I note that the horse has a pretty good total last race speed figure differential over everybody else, those horses almost always run a very good race and are difficult to beat. Anyway, this one's also going to get Lasix for the first time. That should help. And then gets the rail, which should help. Number 5, James Oleus, something like that. 5 races and hasn't run a bad one yet. And the good news is for the backers of the 5 horse, it's had 3 races that were fresh, and those 3 races were its best performances of the bunch. So fresh horse today, going to drop from $102,000 non-graded stakes race. I don't know what the extra $2,000 was about, but I do know what the drop is about. Exact estimate, very consistent performer for trainer Chad Brown. He's teaming up with Irad Ortiz in this spot. Those 2 so far have won at 40% together. That is a crazy number. Again, though it's 7-5, it's not really. I didn't really feel like it was that much better than everybody else in here. No, that one looks like it's 3-5. I have a different horse in mind. It's that 7-2. And then finally, number 6, Saratoga Flash gets the last call from me. A couple of noses, from winning 4 races in a row. Distance here is the key. 5 times out, 3 wins and a third. Put the horse at any other distance 12 times. Just managed to win in 2 of them. 50-cent try, 157 over the 1-5, over the 1-5-6. 7. I'm going to put that 8 in there, Terry. Very tough call over to 10 for me in terms of the back end of my try. But I probably have money now to stick to 10 back there after my scratches in that race number 2, but I won't do it. But maybe you might think about putting the 10 in there as well when you're doing your tickets, folks. All right, final race of the day, Mr. Terry, is the 10th race. This one's actually a stakes race, Terry, so that should be a fun way to end it.
Yeah, it should be. I'll tell you that right now. It's a 1-mile race on the inner turf. New York Stallion Series S stakes race. It's for 100 purse, 150,000. It's for 3-year-olds eligible for the New York Stallion Stakes.
All right, so back to race number 9 with our friend Christopher D'Souza. He likes the 6 horse as a good C-zone in there too. To maybe add that to his 4-1 to make an exacta or trifecta box. 1 mile, Inner turf race, Terry, tends to favor horses that have stalking ability, although 21% of the time, the horses do go wire to wire. There is a little bit of a rail bonus for Gem Mint Teen 10. 8 and out, a 2 through 7 play fair. Once again, we find out if you wear that 8 or out, it's a little bit of a discount, Terry. So inside, tactical speed is what we're looking at there. What do you see?
Well, Vacation Dance, the 4 has a lot of speed, and there's only a couple others that come close. The 2 has a pretty decent overlay. It's supposed to be like almost 9-2, and it's basically 6-1 on the morning line. They all have good C-zone numbers or some C-zone numbers, but the 6.
A couple scratches in here, maybe changing the shape of the race. Number 10, we do see that the 2 horse, It's All Coming Together, does have that lone E designation, so it's going to want to be on the lead. Looks like it's going to have plenty of company up there with the 6. Will in towards Kill It All or something like Willing to Risk It All. All right, that's a lot different than Kill It All. Number 4, Vacation Dance, also could be ahead of It's All Coming Together. 26, Black, going to be right behind that too. So plenty of early pressure on that front runner. Will need some late legs to maintain. Has a few that have more late stamina, particularly Rambling Wreck. That one should be the one that's closing the hardest at the end. If you're a pace player, the total pace goes 8.72, 6.4. Only the 5, Mama Band Me, looking like it might be out of the mix for the W here, Terry. Who's going to score for you?
I like the 826 Pat Black. He ran second in his last race. Has a trainer wins 25% of the races when a horse he trains goes in their first race at a route. And then the 7, Ramblin' Wreck, is my second pick. Won his last race at Belmont Park. Has a high percentage winning jockey. And has a trainer wins whose horses win 22% of the races in non-graded stakes races. And then number 2, It's All Coming Together. She likes the turf, finishing in the money in 4 out of 5 career races. And then she won one of those races and finished 3rd in her last race. And then number 4, Vacation Dance. Switches to a high percentage winning. He switches to a high percentage winning jockey, has a high percentage winning trainer, and who wins 17% of the races when he's running a horse in a non-graded stakes race. And a no bet for me. I'm out of money.
I'm going to go 2 with the 8 horse in here. 26, Black. I'm not even sure if that's Black on the roulette wheel, but did up its speed number in 3 races after its debut. Again, Barry Meadows, 15% alpha angle. Been on an inner turf course 2 times and scored a W in both of them. 2 and 2, Chuck Woolery. Number 6, Willing to Risk It All. I'm going to take a shot with this one here, Terry. Jose D'Angelo wins 25% of the time off the claim. The horse showed some huge improvement in career start number 2, but career start number 2 was career start number 1 on the grass. So if it could step up its and those numbers that it ran were on par with everybody else in here. So why not take the long shot at 20-1? Number 7, Rambling Wreck, 3 consecutive speed figure increases. That culminated in the top last race speed figure, which was at this level. It is an all or nothing horse, though. 4 times out on the grass with 2 wins, nothing else. I just don't feel like it warrants 7-5 favorite status. Probably does win, but I think it's very vulnerable to be beaten in here. We see that too at the simulation, as it is the favorite, but not much by the 8 horse. And then finally, Vacation Dance. This one is capable of some very aggressive early pace, Terry. We see that as the most likely leader in the simulation, along with the strongest C-zone score. We've seen that combination come together and end up in the winner's circle. So maybe it happens again today for Vacation Dance. 50-cent try, 6-8, 6-7-8, 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8 for me to close out the Thursday card at Saratoga. There won't be a race number 10. Christopher D'Souza likes the 7-8-2 exact the box. And then there won't be a Foreign Friday this week or next week, or maybe the week even after that, because I think I'm going to do maybe the week after that. We'll see. I'll let everybody know. Terry and I'll be back on Monday to do Parks, Monday and Tuesday. And then Charles will return on Wednesday. We'll probably do Saratoga next Wednesday and next Thursday as well. One big quick surprise here. I suppose it's a surprise, but because of some technical issues with we're going to make the guaranteed tip sheet wagering guide for the Haskell free this weekend.
Wow.
So in order to get it, though, you're going to have to go over to horseracingtoday.net. You can see right there, hey, Haskell 2023 Haskell wagering guide, free. Now, to prevent spam and all that kind of stuff and mass distribution online, you are going to have to go. It doesn't cost anything. Just register, put your name in, your email address, and then you'll have access to the link. That's it. So again, you can get that over to horseracingtoday.net. Again, in the description down below, there is a link for the Andre Ramgeet GoFundMe. Kindly pick one bet today that you make. And if you win that bet, please donate some of those proceeds to Andre, Julie, fans, and family of horseracingtoday.net. All right, Terry, that carries us through the full week at you and I. What's this, the 5th, 6th day in a row we work together?
Yeah, that's right. We've been together a lot. So.
Doing pretty good in that respect. Full picks today for the Saratoga card. Again, look like this, Terry. Any final thoughts before we get out of here this week?
Well, I just hope that everybody continues to do well at Saratoga if you're betting there, and that you stay safe and that you have a great rest of the week and a real nice weekend.
Indeed. We certainly hope everybody enjoys the weekend. I know it's supposed to get really hot around here next week, so enjoy while the temperatures might be a little less hot, a little less hell-like. Get out to the lake, get out to the beach, get into the air conditioning, stay cool. Certainly, we hope that you have God's grace, God's favor, and that no matter what you're doing this weekend, till we get back together again, every single thing that you do ends up in our favorite place,
the winner's circle.
Indeed. Thanks again for joining us this week. Look forward to spending time again with you next week. Great weekend.